Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Rose Knows. Today we're going to talk about Miss Gypsy Rose. So she released a new book, and in her book, she goes and tells a story, her story, about how she would bathe with her mother and her grandfather as an adult, and that she didn't realize that bathing with adults was not normal until she went to prison. Now, I'm going to let you listen to this news report.
The baths that she said she was taking with her grandfather, that her grandfather took with her, that
Right.
those also happened with her mother.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the more harsh details that you have to read, but obviously this is someone's story and she wants to share it all. It wasn't just her mother, but also her grandfather, and one time all three of them in the bath. It wasn't until she actually went to prison that she realized that it's not a very normal thing for adult women to actually do with each other. And so it's something that she's coming to grips with, the reality of her past and what's actually normal.
You heard that. Are we believing these stories? Are we believing that her mother and grandfather were bathing with her in a bathtub? These stories that she's coming out with are completely outrageous, and she's profiting off of these fake stories. And every next story is worse than the previous. I mean, you mean to tell me that you believe that every worst case scenario of abuse happened to her? I mean, worst case. There's nothing she's not a victim of or claims to be a victim of. And I think people need to start waking up to see that these stories, they're just not making sense. And I truly believe that people are waking up. People are starting to call her out for it, as they should. She should not be profiting from lies when there are true victims out there. There are real victims out there looking for a platform to tell their true stories, to advocate for victims, and to educate, to bring awareness to these abuse victims or the forms of abuse. And she is just out here profiting with these stories that are absolutely absurd. And again, that one is in her book. It's just, it blows my mind. And again, I want to ask those who support her, like, how? How are you believing these stories? Again, how big was her bathtub that all three of them were bathing together? And now remember, she was supposedly paralyzed too. Like, did she even have communication with her grandfather? Because from what I remember her saying, she had no communication with her family. Remember, her mother was keeping her from her family, and that's why nobody knew the abuse was going on. The stories are just not adding up. They're just not making sense. And I really hope that people wake up and see that these are lies that she's telling and not factual stories that happened. And I hope you call her out for it. I hope she gets knocked down a little bit. You're a convict. Okay? And you're out here trying to be a celebrity. I just don't understand these stories. Like, are you believing these stories that she's telling? I mean, I'm curious. I really want to know. I genuinely want to know. Is it just me who just thinks that they're outrageous? Or is somebody with me? Like, do you believe them? Do you not believe them? Let me know. Send me a message, comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking with these stories. Talk to you guys later.